Hi, I'm Sammy, aka Four String Boy, and this is the Flight Comet. Hello there. Happy 2024 to everybody. Now, this ukulele did come out in 2023, but I received it just at the end of the year. And due to illness and holiday time, I've only had a chance now to actually start filming and reviewing it. But this has been on my list for a very long time. This is the Flight Comet ukulele. Now, when I first saw the Flight Comet, I thought, cool, it's a fireball that's been painted. That's exactly what we got. Because if you look at the fireball, and then if you look at the Comet, we have two very, very, very similar siblings here. But thankfully, after spending a good amount of time with this ukulele and having a look at the specs, there are some key differences that we need to talk about. So just before we dive into the specs, let's talk about the main difference why it sets itself apart from the Fireball. Now, the Fireball is one of my most favorite ukuleles, if you know me, all solid mango. And on the Comet, we have an all solid mango body, but the top is actually solid, flamed maple, which is a spec of one of my second favorite ukuleles, which is the Flight A10. So for me, marrying two of my favorite ukuleles together, the mango from the Fireball and the flame maple from the A10, should create my favorite ukulele. But we'll have to see how much difference that flamed maple top really does make. So diving into the specs, this ukulele retails for €639, and for that we have a solid flamed maple top surrounded by an all solid mango body. We have a rosewood pin bridge, and we also have a rosewood fingerboard. The neck is made of African mahogany, and as usual we have that satin finish on the neck. We have 19 frets on the neck, and then up at the top we have a 38mm nut width, and that's a bone nut at the top. You get Flight's super cool open slotted headstock, and again it's the same tuners that you can be found on the Fireball, Prowl I think they are, but black and gold. And finally on this model you'll find the double C1U active pickup just slotted, tucked away. This is Flight's standard pickup. They use the same in the Fireball, the Nighthawk, etc. The Comet comes with the standard Royal Series gig bag. It's nice, it's padded, it's red and black. For some reason, the Flight website, it shows you that it comes with one of their older gig bags, like the Diana does, but ignore them. I'll talk to them about that. We definitely have the new gig bag that's standard with the Fireball Nighthawk. Okay, so I'm going to break down the ukulele reviews now into, I'm going to talk a bit more about the design of the ukuleles because I find design very important. So we're going to just break down and look at touches of the design of the ukulele, what makes this different, what kind of stands out, what's new. And then later on, we'll take some sound samples. And finally, I'll put it up against some of the Flight ukuleles in that price range. So design-wise, we have to kind of talk about the elephant in the room, that it very much looks like its sister, the Fireball. Okay. Now, the most obvious difference is that we have these painted tops that are flamed maple. And you can either get these in green or blue. Now, when I first saw these, I was definitely a team blue. And if you look at Alex's video from the top 10 ukuleles of 2023, then he has a wonderful, wonderful example of a blue Comet. And when I went to visit Sus in October, I got to play that Comet and have a little play and look at it in real life. So for sheer curiosity, I wanted to have a look at what the green looks like in real life. Because in the photos, it comes across as quite a vibrant green. But actually, in real life, it's more of like a forest green. It's a much darker, and I'm going to say a hell of a lot more pleasing green. So that green contrasted with the mango on the back and sides kind of actually reminds me of like a kind of foresty theme. I've joked about, I give all my ukuleles names, and even though I'm technically only borrowing this one, that I would call it Holly because it has that exact green kind of holly to it. But like I said, contrasting with the wood, it doesn't look like a out of place colored painted ukulele. Like I said, that green is kind of leaf tree, so it looks like a really natural finish to me. But in person, I really, really, really have appreciated the green, and like I said, I think it's much, much nicer. So if you get the chance to see one of these in person, please have a look at it, or hopefully I'm doing it justice by showing it to you on this video. Now, thankfully, also, we have a matching headstock as well. So that headstock also has that same flamed maple finish. And I'm a real sucker for matching headstocks on instruments, really. I think it ties the whole thing together. So not only do we have this green body, this green headstock, but also the fret markers also are green. The fret markers are actually a little bit lighter than the finish, which kind of makes them stick out nicely against the dark rosewood. So thankfully you can see them quite clear as day. I think if they were darker, they would kind of sink in and get masked by the dark rosewood, but you can see them quite nicely and they have that pearl effect. So just like the Fireball, we also have the comfort edge here done in black. If you can see it there, just right there. Again, like I said, that green is quite dark. So the black really, really sits in really nicely with that. But it's the same comfort edge, so you can comfortably sit your arm there on it, just like the Fireball. We have the scoop cutaway, again, exactly like the Fireball, done right in black. We have the black binding all the way around. And then we also have black bridge pins. Now the Fireball famously comes with those red bridge pins, which I think look cool on the Fireball, and then we also got them on the Nighthawk and the A10s, which was not to Sammy's taste, but here again we've got these nice black, and the green versus the black. You have the black rosette, the black bridge pins, black cutaway, the black binding. It's a really, really, really good looking ukulele. Now, the other different design choice that sets it aside from the Fireball is our sound hole. So the Fireball sound hole, which I'll show you now, as kind of, Alex always described it as like a kind of spider web kind of thing, and that's it. It's kind of spider web stained glass effect. And the one on the Comet kind of looks, I'm not sure what to call it really, but it looks really nice and looks completely different from the Fireball's design. So I really like that it has that to set it apart. It looks really tidy. It's sat just in on the mango. Another nice detail on the bridge is that we have this gold trim going around it. Now, it's a tiny little detail, but that doesn't exist on any of the flight ukuleles that I know of, apart from the A10 series. So again, it's just nice to see this extra little detail that kind of sets the Comet apart, but detail-wise really, really adds up, again, to a really stunning looking ukulele. Right, now we've talked all things visual, let's go have a listen to what this thing sounds like. This ukulele comes strung with Worth Brown strings as standard. I am a big fan of Worth Browns, but I do prefer uke Logics. So usually when you listen to all my other ukuleles, they'll be wearing uke Logic strings. For me, Worth Browns can be a little bit harsh, and uke Logics take the harshness off it. But as I'm borrowing this kit, I promised I would not restring it. So the Worth Browns come as standard, and that's what you'll be listening to. Now, just before we get to the sound samples, if you're stuck with your ukulele learning, if you're kind of annoyed and need to get forward, you need a good pathway, want to learn all about the ukulele, you want to find yourself a good teacher, go listen to this guy. Feeling stuck, need some guidance, then please look at my 4 String Friends membership on my website. 4 String Friends is a place where all of my live lessons are collated. So each month we have 4 brand new live lessons added every single month. You can join these lessons live with me on Zoom and all the other students, or you can watch them back at your own pace whenever you like. If you want to improve your ukulele playing, understanding, and play like I do, then please come and join 4 String Friends. Please check my website down below. So there we have it. That was the Flight Comet tenor ukulele. What do you think of the sound? So for me, spending some time with it, you can clearly hear the mango. Mango always has that really, really sweet sound to it. So because I'm so used to playing the fireball, it is definitely, I think, my favorite sound on a ukulele. So again, it should be no surprise that actually it reminds me of playing the fireball. But I will say that that flamed maple top definitely does add some projection and volume to this ukulele versus the fireball. Right, so finally, I'm going to set the Flight Comet versus 3 of my other favorite flight ukuleles, just so you can hear the sound difference. Now, obviously, we have to include the Flight Fireball in this. The Flight Fireball is exactly the same price, has the same pickup, pretty much has exactly almost the same width. But for those of you who are interested in basically or are stuck on deciding whether you want a Comet or a Fireball, I'll be doing a video that's specifically Fireball versus the Comet. So lots of sound samples and lots of more in-depth my thoughts of the two. And hopefully if I can persuade Flight Ukulele, I'll restring the Comet so it's also wearing uke logics. So it'll be a completely even battle. So the Comet is also wearing flamed maple, so it's fair to pit it against also the Flight A10. The Flight A10 is all solid flamed maple. Obviously, it's a more premium price point, but again, you get to listen and hear the difference. And then for something completely different, we'll pit it against the Flight 4SB, which is solid spruce, solid rosewood. No mango, no maple involved, so you get a completely different sound, but again, just so you can hear the difference of these ukuleles versus this thing. And there we have it. That is the Flight Comet ukulele. Let me know in the comments if you do prefer the green or the blue color, just because I'm a nerd and I care for aesthetics and all that shit. So, but like I said, I've met both in person, and initially I was team blue, but now having this Holly here with me, I'm definitely on team green. But please let me know which one you prefer. If this video was helpful, please drop me a like. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I do ukulele reviews, ukulele covers, and most things ukulele related. Next week, I'll be putting out a big cover, and I'll be using this kid to show it off. So it's another sound sample, so you get to listen to it in full prime of how I would play a whole cover on it. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day. Until next time. Bye-bye.